what excites you about working here?
I am honored to come on board the largest organization in the world that funds women's human rights. And in a way, I'm rejoining the path on which I started almost 20 years ago when I worked with women and children survivors of domestic, sexual, and war violence in the former Yugoslavia. I learned back then and there what the Global Fund for Women is promoting today, that women hold solutions for themselves and for the communities. In the 90s, in the former Yugoslavia, women promoted solutions to war, nationalism, violence, militarism. So I'm really excited about supporting groups in the region from which I originally come on the same path, from experiencing or observing a wide range of gender and social issues to promoting specific solutions toward positive social change and with a focus on women's rights.
Great, we're so excited to have you. And what are your visions for the ECIS region now that you take over a grant-making portfolio about $1.5 million annually?
I see the world of strong, resourceful, and committed women organizations and networks which actively foster the power of relationships. I see us working jointly toward the goals that we clearly communicate, and at the same time understanding the differences and the ways that we are related and connected. This is the vision that comes from my relationships and the vision that I share with many people around the world already. And this is something to commit in my job, because our time is now.
Great. And what, in your opinion, are some of the urgent issues facing the women's movement in ECIS?
There's a saying that nothing happens without motivated people and their zeal to really do something about the issues that they face, but nothing lasts without institutions that sustain motivated people. So along the lines of that saying, and also from the perspective of my new job, one of the very urgent issues for women's movement in the region is funding. Without much analysis, we have to observe that for a number of years the funding for women's organizations over there has been very limited, and the whole situation is very difficult. So resource mobilization is the key task for various stakeholders across the board, and that's something that the Global Fund for Women has been already engaged with. When it comes to more thematic issues, the recent surge in nationalism, militarism, fundamentalism, conservatism influenced the long-term existing problems such as gender-based violence, political participation, sexual and reproductive rights. On the other hand, there are specific groups, there are populations whose situation really deteriorated. They were already neglected. Roma women, for example, if you compare statistics on, if it exists, on Roma women with Roma men and with non-Roma men or population in general, their situation is really precarious. So we, in a way, have to start from just documenting in order to mobilize, fundraise, strategize, and achieve the change. So that's something that, as an analysis and as a guiding principle, I'm going to be, looking at this job.
Wonderful. Thank you for your perspective. And as someone who's worked extensively with media, especially video and online multimedia, how do you see the feminist movement using these tools and other emerging forms of media in furthering women's rights, both in your region and also globally?
Strategy is the key, because video and any other media are just tools. Reports are tools. Networking is an activity. Street theaters, policy analysis, these are as effective as long as they add value to the existing strategies or campaigns in order to increase their visibility and impact. Video has a number of aspects that are very conducive to feminist organizing. For example, the fact that video puts human into human rights. It's very different that when you read even a newspaper story about thousands of women or even 5 women, and it's very different in their plight. And it's very different when somebody looks you up in the eye and says, this is what's been happening to me, and this is what I think should be done so it doesn't happen to anybody else. So video has that aspect. In addition, video is a powerful mobilizing tool, organizing tool, fundraising tool, both online and offline, both through networks. The key is, of course, that it just helps you to make a compelling argument for your target audience, for your decision makers. So these are a couple of aspects that women's groups, feminist groups can utilize to their benefit as they strategize, again, the work from problems that they observe to the solutions that they promote.